Hey everybody, Jeremy here. I'm going to analyze a scene from a Black Mirror episode called Playtest. I'm going to go over how Playtest uses a variety of different visual cues to hint to the viewer either what is happening on screen or foreshadowing what is yet to come. Specifically, Playtest uses three aspects of film to help the viewer predict that the main character, Cooper, is about to have something really bad happen to him.
Die. Die.
I'll go over the angles, color, and lighting to explain how they all relate to the mise-en-scène. Camera angles can tell the viewer a lot about what's going on in a frame. Certain camera angles are often used to convey meaning about a place or a character. For instance, a low or high camera angle can change how we view iconic characters like Darth Vader. Take two scenes from The Empire Strikes Back, for example. In the first scene, we see Luke Skywalker face off against Darth Vader for the first time. The camera is at a low angle, which helps the audience view an already intimidating figure seem even more imposing. The second scene is when Darth Vader speaks to the Emperor. The high angle, showing Vader looking up at the Emperor, shows that Vader actually plays second fiddle to the Emperor. It's the same character, but the angles are completely different to establish where Vader fits into the hierarchy of the shot. Playtest uses similar techniques to give the viewer certain feelings when watching the episode. Notice how nothing in the shot is straight. Cooper's arm, the agreement cover, and the placing of the agreement. Even the table is filmed at a canted angle. This signifies that Sato Gamo is being crooked with Cooper. In this next shot, Playtest uses a canted angle but also incorporates the bird's eye view. The canted angle reinforces the fact that Cooper is not dealing with trustworthy people. The bird's eye view insinuates that the significance of the contents in the black box is paramount. Notice that the sensor in the box takes the center of the shot, which tells the audience that it is the primary focal point of everything in that box. This shot is actually my favorite shot of the whole scene, probably because it reminded me of Indiana Jones. The angle and framing of the shot makes a black box seem even more dangerous, much like the Cobra in Indiana Jones. Cooper and the audience have no idea what Katie will pull out of that box. Since it takes up half the scene, it suggests that nothing good will come of it. The focus of the camera is on Cooper and his reaction to the box. But since the box takes up half the frame, the audience will focus on the box, wondering what's inside. The low angle on the black box gives it a menacing and powerful appearance in this two-shot. The use of color and lighting has been used to signify whether an object is good or bad, or sometimes it can denote a place or state of mind. To use Darth Vader again, he is dressed in all black to signify that he's evil. Luke Skywalker dressed in all white in the original film to signify his purity and goodness. The color of their lightsabers even denotes which person is good and which is evil. The Matrix used color filters to help distinguish whether the characters were in the Matrix or in the real world. Take a look at the difference between the green filter used in the film and the true-to-life colors that a behind-the-scenes camera showed. Color filters can often make the viewer think subconsciously.
You know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad.
Maybe one of the more recognizable examples is when Dorothy walks out of her front door and into the land of Oz for the first time. Her sepia-toned Kansas house contrasts drastically with the colorful world of Oz. In the movie, it's hinted that Dorothy's experience is all a dream, and Playtest does the same thing, but is a little more subtle about it. Technology has a dark color palette in this episode. Cooper's phone, the objects inside the black box, and the color scheme of Katie's computer is also dark. The outside of the computer is white, while the inside is dark, suggesting the company's two-faced demeanor. Every piece of technology that is dark plays a part in Cooper's eventual death. Playtest uses high-key lighting in this scene. The room is white and lit so brightly that it's difficult to see any of the paneling on the wall. It also creates a very cerebral quality to the room. Many religions depict the afterlife as a serene, bright, and very white place. Many films have depicted such scenes with high-key white lighting. Star Trek used the effect a few times.
Welcome to the afterlife, Jean-Luc. You're dead.
As did Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Even The Matrix had a scene that was lit in a similar manner. Each of these scenes depict the same lighting, but have a different context in each film. What they all have in common, however, is that they are all sequences where the mind is separated from the body. In the context of Playtest, the fact that the room is lit like one of these afterlife scenes suggests that Cooper has already transitioned from the physical to the mental. Mise en scène means the arrangement of actors and scenery on a stage for a theatrical production. If the stage, or in this case a screen, is like a table, mise en scène is like what kind of table it is and what's on it. Objects can be placed on this screen for a specific and sometimes a foreshadowing reason. Take The Godfather, for instance. If someone is in the scene with an orange, they're either going to have something terrible happen to them or they'll eventually die. Playtest mise en scène tells the audience that Cooper is already dead, what killed him, and what time he died. Everything in this room is square: the table, chairs, and even the clock. This gives a feeling that Cooper is in a box and is contained. To add to his captive state, Cooper's chair is also immobile, whereas Katie's chair is on wheels, free to move anywhere. The only thing out of place in this shot are the wheels of the chair. Everything else seems to have its placement and spacing done deliberately. The laptop and phone are lined up with the outside of the black box, and the phone could fit between the screen hinges of the laptop. This enhances the sterile, clinical feeling of the room. The way Katie delicately holds the mushroom and the close proximity of the device to her face communicates to the audience that this apparatus is extremely important. She has a sort of reverence for the small gadget. The mushroom name evokes an Alice in Wonderland feel.
I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice. Tumbling down the rabbit hole?
A center frame close-up of the mushroom after its insertion shows that it is the center of the events moving forward. The clock is in many shots and is placed center screen in many of them. The focus on the clock suggests that time is very important to this scene. Katie even calls out the time at one point. If one looks closely, the time 5:38 is displayed on the phone, which strengthens the importance of time. The most notable aspect of the image is that it is Cooper's mom who is calling, but it also shows the audience what time Cooper died. So, to recap, the square objects in the room signify Cooper's captive status, the dark objects are what kill him, and the lighting informs the audience that Cooper is in a mental state, separated from his physical body.